What's up, guys? I just wanted to make this video because I thought this is something that really no one talks about. That this is what life after high school has really been looking like for me for the better part of almost 3 years now. It's been about 2.5 years since I graduated. Right now I'm driving home from work, so I just wanted to really... Oh, I can make that. So I really hope the audio sounds okay. If it doesn't, then that's gonna suck. Then this whole video just went to waste because I'm just recording as is. So yeah, going home from work. I'm leaving a little bit early because I just don't want to deal with the traffic because I have to get on I-4.
Interstate 4 has basically been under construction since it was built. Interstate 4 has been consistently ranked as one of the, if not the, most dangerous highway in America.
That's right, I-4, that highway. I just wanted to talk about what life has really looked like. You know, what life looks like in Gen Z outside of high school when you don't go the college route, because that's really what I've done. I'm not in college right now. I did not pursue an education, but I am in the workforce. That's how it's been ever since I graduated, straight out of high school. Even before I graduated, I already had the job that I'm still working at right now that I just left. Pretty much, this has been my life for the better part of almost 3 years now, 2.5 years. I graduated, I was class of 2023. You know, there's so much traffic. I hate being in the city, man. It's so so freaking clogged. I don't think I left early enough. Okay, well, you guys are gonna see firsthand what it's like driving on I-4. What Gen Z looks like on I-4. A lot of people have this expectation of, oh yeah, I'm gonna be so rich right out of high school. And, you know, for the people that actually do achieve that, that's pretty nice. It must be very nice to have that, but for regular people like us, like me, this is really what you can expect for it to look like. It's very monotonous, you could say. But there's almost a beauty to it of just the simplicity of everything, that you don't really have to worry about too much other than just get to work, make sure you get your hours, and then that's about it. Basically, I've been working at this same job since I was in high school, really, senior year of high school. And they pay okay-ish. Like, it's fine. It's just about what you'd expect. That's a Cybertruck over there. That car's so ugly. This is really just the reality. This is how life has been for me. It's been okay-ish. It's been fine. There hasn't been anything like too crazy that went on, other than me buying this car. The car that I bought. Right. The one that you guys are seeing me driving right now. I really hope the road noise isn't just completely destroying my microphone or my whole entire voice. So basically, I work a job, I go home, and then you repeat it the next day. That's how it was when I was full-time. Thankfully, I'm not full-time anymore, thankfully, because YouTube, you guys have allowed me to not have to work at my job full-time anymore. Oh, great. Why are we stopping? And they're blocking me off. Okay, yep. Anyways, it's just been, I go to work, I come back home, rinse and repeat. And it gets very boring. You know, I'm sure I can't be the only one that feels this, that, you know, you ever just like sit at work and you just get really sad because you want to do something else, but you can't because you have to stay at work for like the next 5 or 6 hours. I get that a lot, especially when I'm just at work. You know, that's the thing. It's like, if you want to achieve something outside of high school, if you want to do something, you know, have like some sort of success somewhere else, you need to be willing to do more work outside of, you know, what your regular employment like gives you. And we're stopping again. Yeah! On the side, I'm probably going to get like an energy drink on the way home because I'm kind of tired and I got more videos that I gotta go home and edit. So there's that. And I don't have an editor because it's all me. I haven't been able to find someone that has been able to help me with my videos, at least in the way that I've wanted them to. So I've just been doing it on my own. How life has been, I've already said this, I'm repeating myself. Wake up early enough to avoid the I-4 traffic in the morning. I work there, semi-depressed because, you know, that's just kind of how it is. It's like, I don't particularly like this job, but I don't really hate it either. It's kind of just in between. It's like, I'll do it, yeah, because it pays money, but I wouldn't actively choose to do this for the rest of my life, if that makes sense. Right after high school, it's honestly kind of exciting. Like, a lot of people say that this sucks. Adult life is the worst. Oh, they're having trouble back there. That adult life is the worst thing ever. But really, it's actually really exciting. At least when you first graduate, because you get your first job, or at least if you can even find employment, because I see that's like a massive problem in Gen Z. So a lot of us can't find employment because employers aren't giving us the chance. Because they see you're young, so I don't like you. I'm gonna hire someone with more experience. You need 10 years of experience for this job, even though you're only like 10 years old. Everyone's going crazy up here. You guys better be glad that you can't see what's going on up here. This is so stupid. Florida drivers. Once you finally do get that job right out of high school, then that's when life starts going. because then, you know, you got some money coming in. It's exciting because then, you know, if you're able to just walk to your job, that's great, because now you're saving up money, and it's fun in that time because now you have a goal in mind, because you're saving up to maybe buy a car, or maybe finally afford enough to move out. But that's the thing, it's that now rent, especially where I live, because I know I have some people watching that are like geoguesser nerds. You look at the grass outside and just think like, oh yeah, I know exactly where he is. I've seen that happen. That's happened before. Being in Orlando, I know doxed, oh my gosh, I doxed myself. But being in Orlando, the rent here is so freaking crazy, especially since now Orlando's population has almost doubled in the last 10 years. So all this traffic that's around me right now, you guys can't see it because you can only just see out the back of my window. But all this traffic out here, it didn't used to be here because everyone keeps moving here. And I don't like it because then it takes longer to get home. So I have to do this, I have to leave early from work just so I can avoid all this dang traffic. And I'm still hitting traffic. But anyways, that's how it really was for me. When I was working full time, you know, stacking up that bag, waking up at 6 in the morning, going to work, not leaving until like maybe 6 p.m. For that exact reason, so that I can, you know, possibly avoid all the traffic on the way home. To where I live, I have to take a toll road. So it's either I go on the back roads that takes twice the time to get home, or I can just suck it up and get on the toll road and it takes half the time to get home than rather on the back roads. Once you get that car, it's great, but then trying to move out is actually such a thorn up my ass. Like for me, we're all stopping again. Yes! Trying to move out, I've been looking for places for the longest time because I don't want to live with my parents. Don't get me wrong, I love my parents to death, but it gets to a point where I just want my own space, because that's how it was when my parents were my age. Because I'm 21 right now, and my dad was telling me how around this time when he was my age, 21, he was already moved out. He moved out, he had his own place, and he was only paying $400 a month. In order to get a place for only $400 a month now, you either need a lot of roommates, or that's just not happening, especially in this area because it's so crowded. Everyone has inflated the housing market, so now it's impossible for anyone like me to move out. So that's how that's been. Even with my job when I was full-time and with YouTube, I still cannot afford to live comfortably on my own. I would just barely be scraping by. It's like, what am I working towards? I'm trying my hardest. I'm working all these hours. I'm working 40, 50, sometimes even 60 hours a week in this job that I don't like, just to barely make it by, living with my parents. Yeah, it's nice being out of school because, you know, you go to school, you come back home, and you have even more work to do. And we're stopping again. But with work, I get out of work, I come home, and I have no work to do. And it's great because I can just go home, chill, watch YouTube, play video games, or I can just have the freedom to do whatever. Especially since thankfully I have my own car now. This is that car. I was in the trying to buy a car video that I was talking about how I bought a car. This is that car. I want to move out. Like, I have all these ambitions, but I feel I'm stuck. It's our turn to be adults now. It's Gen Z's turn. We're not kids anymore. Oh, my camera kept falling off on the highway. Okay, so I'm parked now. A lot of people get so disappointed when they don't achieve like their goals immediately. It's like, I'm gonna be rich by 20. I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire. I'm gonna have this net worth by this age. But then when that doesn't happen, it kind of creates this, you know, a quarter life crisis because of this exact thing. I've felt this a lot of the time. It's like, why am I not more successful yet? Why have I not just achieved any of this? A lot of people just forget that a lot of success just takes time. I understand that I'll be where I want to be someday. I just got to keep on working. But that's also the beauty of it, because every single day it's very monotonous having to work, you know, all these hours and stuff, but it's all for the cause, you know, of whatever you're trying to achieve, like whatever your goal is, just financial stability, trying to move out, trying to buy a new car, or just having a normal life outside of high school, after graduation, even after college even. All my college people, this is what life has been like for me. This is how it's been. Now, I very much could just go to college. It's starting to get hot in here because it's Florida. It's not like I just can't. I graduated with a 3.5 GPA, so I definitely could have gotten a scholarship of some kind. I graduated with AB honor roll. A lot of people will just take a gap year and thinking like, oh, I'll never go back. That's it. Like, I'm taking this gap year even though I know full well I'm never gonna go back. But I think that's wrong, because I see a lot of people now, like it's getting to that point to where I see those same gap year people going back to school now. I think it's more like a boomerang effect, really, that no one talks about. It's that right after high school, it's like, I'm gonna take a gap year, even though I know I'm never gonna go back. But you always see the people eventually come back anyways. When it first happens, like, you're drifting far away. It's like the idea is so far out of reach for you. It's like, I don't want to go back to school. But then as reality slowly starts to set in, think, maybe, no, I still don't want to. But then it slowly starts setting in, and then the realization comes back, and then a lot of people just go back to school. I know if I did go to school, I could have probably been close to graduating by now. Now, do I regret not going to school? No. Because at the end of the day, it was my decision to do this. This was completely my choice. No one forced me to. If anything, everyone was almost pressuring me to go to school, to go to college. But I didn't want to because I had my own plans that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to at least give it a shot because you don't want to look back at your younger years when you had like all this time, you know? Because you always think, oh, I don't have enough time. I can never get this done. I can never accomplish this because I don't have enough time. But then you look back at that time when you thought that and you realize you had all the time in the world. You were just too scared to make the first move. That's what I'm doing now, mainly out of fear, because I'm scared of looking back in time and thinking, what could I have been if I tried more? Check it out. Look what I got. Oh yeah, they should sponsor me. Sponsors. I know my skin is all cut up right now. It's not looking too good. But Noth, aren't you sponsored by a skincare company for men? Yeah, I've been slacking my skincare recently, okay? Leave me alone. But anyways, as I was talking about, working towards your dreams. Everyone wants to achieve something. Like, that's normal. Who doesn't want to achieve anything? Very few times do you see people who just don't want to do anything with their lives. I'm gonna turn on the AC. Very few times do you see people who just don't want to do anything with their lives. Everyone wants to be something. Everyone works their job and they just think, I know I'm worth more than this. Like, I know I can achieve more. And I'm not saying that you can't achieve that, because you absolutely can. But what I'm saying is, it takes time. Some things take more time than others. I thought I would have had a lot more success in a lot of other areas of my life by now, but it hasn't happened yet. You just gotta realize that you're young. Most of you watching this are probably young. It's just someone older looking at me, just like, wow. Look at this loser. This is what life after high school and Gen Z is like. Wow. It's the same as what it's always been. But it's not. Because you see, you actually had the ability to leave. See, it's like I could move out, but I would have to be with roommates. And respectfully, if I'm gonna move out of my parents' house, I don't want roommates. That's just me. It's just my personal preference. I've been seeing so many comments from you guys that do live on your own. And you guys are just reinforcing it even more. Tell me how it's the greatest thing ever. Having no roommates is so awesome. And I want that too, but I just can't afford it. Most of Gen Z can't afford it. Because it's too expensive. It's so expensive now. So how do we fix this? How do you do it? Make more money. That's how it is. It's that minimum wage jobs are not gonna cut it anymore. They just don't work. So in order for us to live normal lives, we need to make more money than our parents did. Which, you know, it's a normal thing. You know, it's a normal thing to want to make more money than your parents. But now it's literally a necessity. I saw somewhere, it's that Gen Z has 86% less purchasing power than the previous generations. I say as I'm passing some luxury apartments, and that sucks. It feels like we were screwed over. It feels like my generation just wasn't given the chance to grow up properly. So that's what you see a lot of now, is that a lot of us guys, a lot of people, they can't live that normal life that they crave so much. Even me. Is that you have to do a lot more now to really qualify yourself, I guess you could say. It's that the same things that used to work, it's just not gonna cut it anymore. Like, inflation is on the rise. Thankfully, it's not as bad as what it used to be, thank God, but it's still there nonetheless. Like, things are more expensive. Even this drink was $2.49, which is actually on the cheaper end, because normally it goes for like $3.49 at every other place, but I got it at Walmart, and it's not cold, so that's also like contributing to it. It's that life is more or less just turned into a game. You can study harder to get these higher paying jobs, but that's even if they even hire you now. Because that's the thing with the job market, is that it's just so screwed up now. So we need to do a lot more just to prove ourselves. And there's so many more people now that just lack those same skills that previous generations just didn't seem to really struggle with at all, especially getting a job now. Like, I'm lucky that I have a job now. The only reason I have a job is because I know people that work there. But, you know, anywhere else, it's a lot more difficult. Like, you gotta go through a whole different type of process, especially, you know, with Indeed and everything. Yeah, it's helped people find jobs. This guy's gotta back up because they're almost in the middle of the dang road on the turning lane. Whatever, it's just Florida, that's how it is. It's that we have to do a lot more to get the same things that used to be so readily available for everyone else. You were able to get by on $2,000 a month. 20, 30 years ago, $2,000 a month was good. Like, you were chill. Now, $2,000 a month is like you're broke. Like, you can't do anything on that. The average income in 1990, I think, was around like 20-something thousand. The average income now, they say, is like 60-something thousand, but I think that's just wrong. That's just not true. Like, I see so many people struggling. I see so many more people struggling now than there ever has been. You see so many homeless people on the road. Of course, it depends on the area and where you're at, but there's so much more homeless people. Even the area I'm passing by right now, there's like an area right here that is known for just housing a bunch of homeless people. And it's not even housing, it's a freaking forest. Forest right there. Don't fall again. Don't do that. Stay! It'll be the 4th time you fell on me. The point I'm trying to make is that life really isn't, as much as like negative I talk about on my channel regularly, it's not all negative. There is some hope out there. There's ways to get higher paying jobs without going to college. You can go to trade school, that's still a big one that I see a lot. You can try making money online just like me. Stop! And I'm gonna go home and do even more work. It's like, I go to work, I do work, and I come home and do even more work. It's almost like I'm just living in school again. I would do work at school, I come home and do even more work because it was just homework. Or I would just procrastinate because I didn't want to.
Okay, we're switching to voiceover since my camera wouldn't stop falling. But the point I was trying to make was the common conception for how you should live your life after high school is that you need to go to college, or else you're just seen as stupid by most people's standards, and you're doomed to live a struggling lifestyle. Sure, that may have been the case 20 to 30 years ago, but as everyone can tell, times have changed. Things are just not the same as how they used to be. The job market is different, the housing market is inflated, and everyone in Gen Z is freaking out because the one path that everyone told us to take just doesn't work for most people anymore. Studying to get a degree for a job they're just gonna hate anyways.
I go here for computer science. I'm here for the money, even though the job market
is
very good.
I mean, get that bag. I'm not gonna judge you for that one.
Because that's what everyone told us to do. And you're seen as an idiot for not following along. I'll have conversations with people and they will ask me, so what are you studying in? Because I'm young and they just assume that I'm in school anyways, because that's what everyone does. And when I tell them I'm not in school, they always give me that look of, oh, you're screwed then. This guy's an idiot. So by all accounts, I should be completely dirt broke, right? I'm not going to college. I'm working a job that doesn't really allow for me to move up much in terms of pay. But in reality, I'm doing just fine for myself. I have 2 different income sources, that being my normal job and YouTube. Look, I can even regularly buy stuff like this and not even think about it making a dent in my bank account. Now, I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm also not broke either. I'm doing just fine.
I understand that I'll be where I want to be someday. I just gotta keep on working.
Even without YouTube, I was still able to do that just fine. I even have money that I put aside for my future. Yeah, a lot of that is partly because I live with my parents, but honestly, who isn't around this age now? Because times have changed. College is not the only way you can make a living now. There are many different ways you can do that. Like I said earlier, trade school is a big one I see a lot. It's cheaper, shorter term, and you can make a respectable living afterwards without it leaving you in crippling debt. Another one I see is certifications, like tech for example. There are many different courses you can take online for tech jobs, remote jobs, and even cybersecurity that pay very well and don't require you to go to college, or you can learn a different skill that pays well. But these are just some examples of ways you can make a good living without a college degree, because times have changed. Things have gotten more expensive. The same jobs that used to support an entire family years ago just don't cut it anymore. But that doesn't mean it's over for Gen Z. That just means we need to think differently. Get creative with it. Think outside the box. Because at the end of the day, it's your choice where you decide to go next. Because that's the reality of life after high school.